Hi everyone, Coach Sullivan here with MJS Coaching Football. First of all, I hope you subscribe to my channel. But secondly, my background is my 38th year coaching football. I've either been a defensive, offensive, or special teams coordinator, as well as a head coach at both the collegiate and high school levels. Today, in this whiteboard presentation, I want to talk to you about our 3-4 versus inside zone, what we call off. Okay? And some of the key terms that we're going to be learning about are over here today. We're going to talk about surface, what's meant by level integrity, push and bend, which depends if you're pushing if you're on the play side, bending if you're on the back side, P, play side, B, back side, okay? Patch, again, play side, fold, slice, or what we call knockback, okay? So first of all, let me just give you the background here. This is our base 3-4 front, which we call 50, all right? This is our normal or regular two-high alignment, and this is versus 11 personnel, okay? We would call this Dallas, 2x2, begin with a D. If you go to my 3-4 base playlist, that's all covered in there, but I'll go over it with you now, okay? This would be, pass strength for us would be on the right. This would be a rip with a left call because the tight end's on our left, okay? What we're going to first learn about is how we determine who has force and run support. For us, it's always sky, which means the safety has force unless, and the unless is number 2 detaches. When that happens, our outside linebacker detaches, and then it becomes what we call orbit. O, orbit, O, outside linebacker. Okay? If number 2 is not detached, it stays sky. So remember, it's sky unless 2 detaches. Boom, done. Okay? And so alignment-wise, I don't want to fill up the board with too much writing. All of this is on my channel and all the various playlists. Okay? 2x12 off the tight end, 1x12 Ike inside of number 2, 1x7 Oscar, outside leverage, 1x7 Oscar, toes at 4. Okay, boom, done. Head up on the tight end, 8 technique, 4 head up, 0 head up, 4 head up. Okay? All right, so in our base 3-4, how do we defend against the inside zone scheme? And in this case, it's inside zone off and what that means. Okay? So, starts off with surface. Okay? The surface is the offensive line. Now, the surface in particular for your inside linebackers, okay, is man on. We always talk about man on key, so that's the guard. And then if the guard works to the tackle with you, then pick up the tackle becomes part of your surface. If the guard works towards the center becomes part of your surface. Okay, and we refer to that as the triangle. So it starts with the guard, and then whichever direction the guard moves, you add that lineman to your surface. So it's the same for both inside linebackers. Okay? Safeties are also reading uncovered, which is the guard. So they're reading guard to tackle, to tight end. Okay, 2-man surface, guard to tackle. So this is a 3-man surface, 1, 2, 3. 2-man surface, 1, 2. Okay, so when we talk about surface, that's what we mean. Okay? Outside linebacker, he is what we call detached. He goes a maximum of 5 unless we make a tag call. He puts his toe in the heels of the defensive end. He is in a position to see the guard as well. Okay? So that's the surface. What we mean by level integrity, okay? We're not reinventing the wheel here. First level is our defensive lineman and any outside linebacker who is part of the box on the line, okay? So these 4, rover, end, nose, and stud, are all what we call first level, okay? Our inside linebackers, in this case, the dime, are what we call second level. And then the DBs are what we call third level. So when we start to talk about how we defend against the inside zone off scheme, it's going to bring in the level integrity okay, which is going to include push, bend, and patch. It's going to include as well as fold, okay? So these three here, numbers 3, 4, and 5, tie in with number 2, level integrity, okay? So this all makes sense once we put all the pieces to the puzzle together to create the finished picture, alrighty? Okay, so what this is going to be is what we call inside zone Y. We designate the tight end as Y, okay? So this is going to be an inside zone scheme to the tight end, all right? And it's going to be specifically inside zone off. So let's go start with the play side guard, okay? Well, first of all, 51 technique, that means 1, 3, 5, our inside linebacker is a C gap on the play side. So who has the B gap? That's where our defensive ends come in. So what our defensive ends do, they have toes even. Their inside hand is down. So for the end, it's the right hand. On the snap of the football, they shoot their hands, which is the knockback. Okay? Hands extended fully. Disregard my elbow. That's as straight as it goes. Extended fully. As our defensive ends do that, they are taking a little 6-inch inside step, getting their eye on the guard. This is their pressure key. This is their visual key, the guard. Okay? And so they are the B-gap defender. Guard to them, they push. Okay? They push up the field. Guard to them. All right? Hopefully that makes sense. Because they are the B-gap defender. What they are attempting to do is not only penetrate B-gap, so that eliminates the backs running lane through B-gap, but also now it's no longer, okay, a double team. We always talk about no such thing as a double team. Defeat the block you're on. And so for the defensive end, it's going to be the guard, okay, because they're trying to zone. And this brings in the off up to the play side linebacker. Okay? So by the defensive end penetrating, pushing B gap, that splits the double team. Okay? So now our inside linebacker reads that step. He now is heading to the outside hip of his defensive end. Now the hip's going to move. Okay? So now we're about to bring in the patch concept. So what is meant, quite honestly, by the patch is as the tackle works his way up to our Mike backer, the Mike backer patches over, goes over the top, right? Patch over it. This brings in the level integrity, okay? Our first level defenders in B gap. If we avoid to the inside shoulder, we now have 2 defenders in B gap and nobody in the C gap. That's the level integrity, okay? So that's what's meant by patch. Okay, here comes the blocker. He's coming up to take you here. Okay, 2 shoulders. I want to go around the outside or play side shoulder here and get into the C gap. And the closer you can do it to the line of scrimmage, the better. Okay? The better. So that is what's meant by patch, and that brings in the push as well as the level integrity. We say if you backdoor it, go through the inside shoulder, we now have 2 guys in the B gap. And that creates a running lane through the C. No good. Okay? Over here, again, surface, right? Now guard to the center. So this tells the backer, in this case, he's the backside linebacker. All right? Perfect world, the nose is pushing, okay, to the A gap on the back side. We prefer the backside A, and then he's going to bend. Perfect world. Backside linebacker, we always talk about, you make him right. If he's in the backside A, you get opposite A. If he gets across the face, then you stay backside A. okay, to answer that question. But here, the same premise. Now you build your surface from guard to center, patch over the top for the same reason of level integrity. He's in A. Now you're in the opposite A. If you go inside, you're both in the backside A. Okay? That's why these terms are so important. Level integrity. Starts with the surface. Now the backer knows he's backside. He's in the backside A. I got to patch over. So and the opposite A. So we have both A's covered. If the nose had patched over himself, now I'm just simply going to plug and fit in the backside A, because as we know, inside zone, they read first down man inside the hole. So that'd be the nose. So they're looking for that cutback. Okay? Over here, this is going to be a single block. Well, this defensive end does the same thing. He's a B-gap defender. When he knocks back hands first while taking that inside step, and he sees his guard going away from him, he's now ripping hard and bending off the butt of the guard, closing down B gap to A gap. So we're eliminating the cutback. This is how we defend zone off, and this is what the role of the backside defensive end is. Okay, he is a bender. And he's got to be careful so he doesn't get cut. As he steps and reads, he's got to rip his outside arm, right? Protect his near leg as he's bending, okay? I'm going to get to the rover momentarily. Now, what's happening over here, okay? He's orbit. As he sees the surface is going away from him, he's what we call shimmying, okay? Shimmying. He's the boot defender. Boot, 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 right? They're bending. They're selling out, closing down. He's got first level. In this case now, he's patching over second level. Okay? Once the outside linebacker, the dime in this case, clears the boot, number 5, he now folds in as a second level cutback defender. Okay? Second level cutback defender. He's patient. He clears the boot. If the quarterback still has it, he's screaming, bomber, 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 which means boot. If the offensive line has done a good job making it look the same and not looking like elephants on parade, which is a different presentation, then he's going to pull up it right now. Pull it up. Okay? But that's what the job of the outside linebacker who's got force in orbit has. What's meant by stack, or number 6, slice, zit stepping, remember, he's reading the same thing. He's got the run surface, run blocking, going away from him. Now he's got a zit step. He's coming down. He's what we call that slice. Safety has C gap. We don't ever use the word slice for anything else. Slice is a backside safety, has C gap, S. Okay, so he's folding, B to A, he's got C. So we got all the cutback lanes accounted for, okay, including if there is a reverse. Then we have defenders in position, listening for reverse, whose call should be coming from over here. What's meant over here by PTS, all we ask our corners to do is protect the sideline. PTS, protect the sideline. Don't let the ball get to the sideline or we got trouble, right? PAT defense called. So let me get to the rover before I get to the force defender, in this case, the whip. Okay? The 8 technique is what we call reading the hat. Boom, all starts with the knockback. Bang! And then the hat. So in the case of inside zone, this is going to be a single block. Okay, single block. So we say knockback, and you're going to mirror the hat, read the hat. You're going to begrudgingly work outside with it. Okay? You got to understand that your inside linebacker, your Mike, is in the C gap. You got your force defender outside you. So we say knock back and look them right in the eye, face to face, and be ready to shed and come inside if the ball cuts inside you, shed him inside and go outside if the ball cuts outside you. Okay? So he is actually playing a true read the hat, two gaps, inside or out, but he's got help both inside and out. Okay. So last but certainly not least, the safety who has force. Okay. Sky, he's going to zit step. He sees the surface uncovered, all coming to him. Here comes inside zone. He zit steps. His landmark is 2 yards outside his rover. So as the rover's widening, he widens his landmark a little bit, and he does not want to race up the field. He's going to come and he's going to sit on the heels of his rover. So in the off chance we're a spill defense, we spill the ball out to him. There's our force defender in great position to make the play. Okay? So this is how we defend against inside zone off. Okay? This is how we prepare and defend for the boot. This is how we take care of the cutback lanes. Our level integrity is our first level defenders. Okay? We make them right by our second level defenders attacking the offensive lineman coming up to them. That's the off. They're working off the line trying to block second level defenders. By them properly patching over, and in the one case, the backside inside linebacker making his nose right when he has to go inside because that backside A needs to be covered. Okay? Any questions, please reach out to me at Coach MJ Sullivan at gmail.com, and I'd love to talk football with you.